Well, welcome again, everybody. This is Spotlight. I'm Pastor Dan, and we always have these transitions at the beginning of a new month. So we did what I thoroughly enjoyed, a series on Millennium, and but they've asked me to do one on the parables, and the parables, specifically the parables of the kingdom, not some of the others, prodigal son and things that Jesus did, where the kingdom is like. So let's have some fun. This is the kingdom, but maybe we're going to have to do a little bit to try to get ready for this whole idea of the kingdom of heaven is like. We're talking metaphor, which is just a huge part of how we talk about God, is that we have to use metaphor. That's all there is. We cannot get behind language. We cannot get behind saying, God is like love. Well, as soon as you say love, you can only interpret that word love, these dots that make that word, by all your own personal experiences of love. It's a metaphor for what you have experienced of love. And that's all we have. You cannot get behind and say, well, I want to see how it really is. You will only substitute more metaphor. You may get better metaphor. You may get more complete or more accurate metaphor, but you will not escape metaphor. That's all we have. I got to La Sierra to be the senior pastor in, 1994. Is that right? Long time ago. And the anniversary is coming up here in a couple of weeks. It'll be 29 years. Anyway, there had been some controversy over the last few months, and 2 bricks had been thrown through the glass of the sign out in front. That sign's been taken down now. But when someone saw a title they didn't like, they felt called upon to take a brick and heave it through the glass sign. The church would get it fixed, and then someone did it again. So that was before my time, but I certainly heard about it. So whenever I or anybody had kind of a racy or edgy title, people said, be careful, we're going to get a brick, So then we hired a young pastor named Sam Lenore to be our young adult pastor. Just a terrific choice that we made. And every time we see each other, I congratulate myself for being a part of that, but it's all God. Anyway, we asked him for his title for his maiden sermon, and it was, God is a burger. Oh boy, I had staff members. No, we cannot do that. That's going to be another brick. We don't want him to start off as a brand new preacher, pastor here, and he gets a brick through the sign. So I had to talk to him and said, I know what you're trying to do. You're saying God is like a burger. He fills you up, or whatever it is you want to say. But the staff is really scared because of their history with it. So that's a challenge, a metaphor. But it's all we have. And the metaphor here we're talking about is kingdom. God is like a king. There is a kingdom. God has a reign. My friend Rick Rice wrote the Definitive Adventist sort of college, some systematic theology. The reign of God. God is a king. There is a kingdom. The thief on the cross said, remember me when you come into your kingdom. He's a king and he has a kingdom. And that's what we want to talk about for these few weeks. So metaphors are really important. It's all we have. We say God is like a good shepherd. God is like a king. God is like a mother hen. God is like a rock. We have all these different metaphors. Every metaphor tells you something important, but every metaphor probably also cannot, what they say, stand on all 4 legs. It says some things, but it doesn't say all things, and it may even say some things that you don't want to say. Rick Rice and I had a little discussion about the whole reign of God, because if you say the defining metaphor for God is he's a king and there's a kingdom, not everybody has good feelings about kings and kingdoms. We left kingdom to come to America and started democracy without a king. And kingly power, if you're using kingly power, that was not a positive adjective in our church. And so you have to be careful. And so we say that the metaphors correct each other. They self-correct. So there where you have a king that says some good things, God is a king, he has power, he protects you, he brings you together, he rules, he reigns, he makes a big difference in the world. But you don't want a dictator, you don't want a king who taxes everybody and lives in opulent palaces and doesn't care for anybody. And so you have to balance that with God as a father, or God as a shepherd. And or if you have a bad experience with your father and you say God is like a father and your father was not good, then you need to balance it by mother, or by mother hen, or by the good shepherd, or a friend. God is a friend. And so we need the whole family of metaphors. You may have certain ones that you prefer, that work for you. The Hindus have all their 300 million gods. Those are really like metaphors. There's just different facets of what God is like. And so if the elephant God, he's really big, but he can ride on a mouse. And so God rests lightly. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. They use a metaphor with a God. We would say God is easy and light. And so we're talking about God. I hope that you'll enjoy this series on God and the kingdom. This is going to be fun. See you next time. Thank you for watching Spotlight. We're so excited about this. We hope that you'll subscribe and so you'll get all of them. And please just forward it on to others and tell other people about it. And let's just see what kind of an audience we can get for these messages of Spotlight. God bless you.